Today is a National Arts in Nursing Homes Day. It aims to remind people of the creativity and the storytelling and the artistic expression among the residents living in these care settings. Oakfield Nursing Home in County Wexford has been recognised for a special folklore project. Our reporter Una Kelly went along to meet some of the residents and staff and artists involved.
1, 2, 3.
You find it hard to understand.
I was bad at maths. I thought I was bad at everything. But when I discovered I could actually write poetry, it was like a breakthrough to heaven. I felt whole and useful and wanted.
87-year-old George MacDonald from Gorey is a poet. The song the residents just sang is his poem set to a traditional air. It came about as part of a project here that included songs and storytelling. George wrote the poem 15 years ago. He has dementia now. But the arts workshops here helped him and his wife Kathleen reconnect with that part of himself.
Poetry lets me get my innermost feelings, puts them with the aid of my head into sometimes very good work that I'm actually proud of. But I kept them, I never went public with
Your feelings.
my feelings.
He found poetry a great way of expressing himself, and that helped a lot with his shyness. But being down here and the workshops really helped him. Being here, at first George couldn't settle very well in Oakfield. He missed his home and these workshops help people, because usually you're left in some places in a room on your own and you don't meet people and that, but here the way they bring people out and help them meet other people, it means a lot.
Why do you think it's important that everyone's kind of creativity and expression, you can still have a chance to do all of that?
Because it makes them happy. So I owe an awful lot to poetry and the people who preach it.
How does it feel to hear George saying that's how
Gives
poetry?
me a lot of satisfaction because I know he's happy then. And I think since these workshops started here, he's able to relate more to people and he fits in as part of the community here much better.
I love my wife very much, and I was delighted that I was giving her something to show that she hadn't married an idiot.
How would you describe the bond between the two of you?
Oh,
Well, he tells me he can't wait to go to the next life so that he'll have his arms around me forever. Isn't that true? He tells me that every day.
I love Kathleen with all my heart and soul because she's a marvellous woman.
I think he has me on a pedestal a bit too high now. I'm a bit far to fall.
Never.
Community artist Rachel Uí Fhaoláin facilitated the workshops that aimed to capture the folklore, customs, stories and songs from the elderly people. When talking about the project, Rachel uses the word magic because she could see how, when one man in the group shared a story, it had the power to transport him and others to a time and place in their pasts.
That little nugget of information, that little magic moment of where he shared his childhood memories with me and the group, sparked memories within me and then had a rippling effect and sparked memories with others. Another lady then, went back and could remember very vividly her mum cooking on the open fire. She was there. I was listening to the conversation and she was there and we were all there with her. She went back to that moment with the cinders on top of the pot, the pan that they were on the fire and how the bread was, and she could taste it and she could describe it. And that's magic, to be able to go back, for them to go back, but for me to have that material to take forward into my practice, into schools as part of my heritage and schools work, that's vital.
Where the thrush and the robin, their sweet notes entwine, on the banks of the Suir, that flows down by Moncoin.
81-year-old Mary Gahan is the woman who talked about her mother cooking on the open fire.
Sure, it was lovely because it brought us back to thinking all about olden times, and that was beginning to slip away really, because the pace of life is so fast now, and that all these little things are beginning to be, I think, left behind.
And what did it bring back for you?
Well, it brought me, I had a whole lot of thinking to do about my mother and my mother's cooking and my aunt and all the aunts and all, they were all great cooks.
And what does it feel like to be brought back to that time and have all those memories coming back to you?
Very sad. Yeah, very sad, but again, like, it's good to have it to live with, you know, to talk about. It gave me sort of, what would I call it now? A source of peace, and the fact that Rachel brought it back to us, it was fantastic.
And the light that lit your happy eyes of blue, I can hear your sweet voice say, welcome as the flowers of May.
68-year-old Tony O'Brien is taking forward the legacy of this arts project. He's going to start a choir in the nursing home.
It seems that I'm to do the choir master. Nobody told me, like, it just happened, like, you know. I'm only joking.
How do you feel when you're singing?
If I might just refer to the lady who gave me 4 years training, I remember her saying to me one day, we were kind of talking about how I felt about it and all that, and I just said, I kind of get lost in my music and in the singing. And she actually said, do you think it's like a spiritual experience? And I said, that's probably the best way to express it. So it is a spiritual. I just feel that I'm not in the world, I'm somewhere else, like, you know. Where the mountains rise away on a field of golden grain, we'll go home to Slaney Valley, you and I.
The stories they've came up with have been unbelievable.
Rebecca Nolan is an activities assistant at Oakfield.
And it's nice for them to go back into their earlier years, and brings a lot back for them as well. So it's nice for us to hear all their stories. We just get discussion groups going, and we'd be talking about what's been coming up in the workshops, and like the amount of things one person starts and they're saying something about St. Bridget or whatever, and then the next person's adding bits, and it's all just coming into like a big story. So it's lovely.
Rebecca and Rachel, the community artist, both say it's really important to have active participation projects in nursing homes. Rather than just having entertainers coming in, residents can get involved in making art. And the value of making art is that they can connect with each other and rediscover an inner confidence, or maybe find it for the first time. Take, for example, our poet, George MacDonald. He was a shy man all his life. For decades, his scribbles of poetry were stuffed into drawers because he didn't think he was good enough. But now, in the twilight of his life, after taking part in the arts project here, he can be in a room full of people and give a few bars of a favourite song.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Something is going my way.
Well done, and I hope you had a great day. That's 87-year-old George MacDonald, one of the residents of Oakfield Nursing Home in County Wexford, finishing that report by Una Kelly.